Hi everybody. So this is an extremely short lecture designed to talk you guys through symbolism, allegory, and myth. Really quickly, you guys have undoubtedly come across the idea of symbolism in your literary careers. So I'll just kind of walk you through some of these ideas, even though you might be familiar with them. Symbolism represents ideas, movements, or ideals. They can be a person, an object, an action, a place, or an event. They don't have to just be a thing. Symbols can be representative of these larger issues or thematic ideals through these different mediums. They're generally used to convey a complex or metaphorical meaning in addition to the literal meaning. So generally they have two meanings. They can be universal or archetypal. So for example, the old man or the evil stepmother. These are archetypal symbols. They can be conventional, so they can mean the same thing to most people. So for example, the skull and crossbones we know means poison in our culture. They can also evoke memory, emotion, tone, cultural or social meaning, and much, much more. So for example, when you see the American flag, that does evoke this sort of sense of patriotism and pride that harkens back to our founding fathers. So literary symbols help the reader interpret a text in a particular manner. So they can suggest characterization, conflict, setting, a lot of different things. They can be thematic in nature. You can understand symbols by looking for conspicuous or crucial moments in the narrative. So for example, in Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, there's a mysterious black box that's very old, it's worn out, it has great cultural meaning for this particular culture, so it is a symbol, a representation of the past and of tradition and of unchanging sort of norms in this culture. There's also the symbol of the three-legged stool in The Lottery, which represents a number of things, but it can represent sort of the body politic. It can represent the Holy Trinity. There's a lot of different ways you can read the symbolism in the Lottery. Allegory communicates a doctrine, a message, or a moral principle through the characters. So they really personify an idea, a concept, a quality, or an abstract state of being. So they generally only represent one allegorical meaning within the framework, so you don't typically have something that represents multiple meanings. So the allegorical framework is a set of ideas that convey the allegory's message. So for example, in the tortoise or the hare, the characters are an allegory. They don't represent a literal tortoise and hare, they represent an idea of the type of work that each of them are doing. So the rush, rush, rush sort of burst of energy versus a slow and steady work. And we all know that slow and steady wins the race. So that is an allegory. Those characters are allegorical characters. Myth is a story or tale that is central to a culture. It has implicit or understood historical or cultural meanings. It can be theological, but it can also be within a lot of other genres. So typically they explain a particular phenomena. It can be creation, it can be purpose, it can be a function of ideas, people, or even cultures. So for example, Heracles, or Hercules, however you want to say his name, in Greek mythology represents a particular creation, part of creation story, represents the sort of structure of the gods and the demigods, and a lot of times the mythological gods were used to explain natural phenomena like volcanoes or different things that occurred. So that is really symbolism, allegory, and myth. If you have any questions, let me know.